Are we about to screw up the Ligt deal now? I mean, we need defenders badly, and we can't seem to bring anyone in at the moment.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump straight into this. There's quite a lot of stories to go through. Defenders, the whole situation with Ronaldo, Raphinha, is that situation back again? Ziyech, there could be a domino effect. There's plenty of domino effect to actually talk about. Let's start from the Ligt situation. I'm actually quite concerned about this. Now, I always knew this was complex, and now we've sort of baited in Bayern Munich into this conversation, and let's read this. Bayern Munich don't want a bidding war with Chelsea. Instead, they've been working on getting the Ligt to reject Chelsea. I mean, talk about the scumminess. But look, this is what happens. I can't even be upset with Bayern Munich because we got to do our thing. We got to go out there and just finalize this situation. Obviously, Juventus are going to delay the situation as much as they can. They want more clubs to come in and get interested in regards to De Ligt so that the price can be pushed up. It's a classic supply-demand situation in economics you guys would have all learned. But this player apparently doesn't care. It could be Chelsea, it could be Bayern Munich. It doesn't really have a preference. There are some reports saying that he would prefer Premier League, but at the end of the day, if we just dilly-dally around, as I keep saying, you dilly-dally around too long on a particular deal, it will go away right in front of your face. And now Bayern Munich is interested, and they need defenders because they've just let go of Niklas Süle to Borussia Dortmund. I'm not quite certain about some of the other defenders, but they may look to freshen things up. The league would like the Premier League. Juventus absolutely does not care about player swaps from Chelsea. It is important to see if Bayern will offer what Juventus want also. Look, maybe we don't do any player swaps. Considering what's going on with Raphinha and Dembele, we may need to keep some of these players, but we'll see what happens in that regards. I don't really see how both Werner and Pulisic stays. One of them has to go, and I thought Juventus was interested. Happy for them to do a separate deal for accounting purposes, but I'm worried that one of the I suppose exciting part of the whole De Ligt deal was that we will be able to give them one of the players, which at the end will net out the position for De Ligt to a much smaller amount. De Ligt is touted to be around, £70 million. So, that's not cheap money at all. This particular report further on goes to say Chelsea tried Werner plus cash, but Juventus decided no swaps. This is from Nathan Gising from CFC. CFC, what is it? The Instagram page. You guys know what I'm talking about. CFC News or something like that. Conference call today between Chelsea and Juventus. Chelsea proposed 60 million plus bonuses. Juventus wants 64 million plus many bonuses. So there you go. I think that all rounds up to be about 70 million. Look, I don't know where we're going with this, man. The league doesn't have a preference who he joins. Highest bidder wins. This is what's coming up from Alfredo Padella. All of these Italian journalists, they when it comes to Italian news, they're quite clued about that kind of stuff. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm worried. We're going into the United States pre-season tour. And at the moment, we don't have any of the players. We didn't even get Raheem Sterling in. A lot of people are saying we should get Raheem Sterling before we fly out to USA. But there seems to be some sort of a stumbling block there as well, whether it's wages, I don't know. I think we've agreed on terms with Man City, but maybe it's personal terms that's taking a bit of time. There is nothing that's out there at the moment in regards to that, besides saying that it's all done. It's just a little bits and pieces. But defenders, we're nowhere near close to getting a particular defender, and we have a massive hole at the moment to get defenders. This is becoming a concern, and we're going for players that are high quality, which is great. De Ligt is a high quality player, but we're making it too difficult for us. If we're that interested, just make it happen, and then look for, letting players go to net out your position. So, Yeah, it's not a good scenario at the moment. Chelsea remain in pole position to sign Matthias de Ligt as they are the only club to have made a formal offer for the defender so far. So we've made a formal offer, but Bayern Munich is sniffing around the corner, and you don't want to make it too tasty. Just don't want to make it a situation where that Bayern sees an opportunity and they go in hard and they get the job done within 24 hours, whilst we were just sleeping around the corner, hoping that something was going to happen, much like the Raphinha situation, which we'll get to. A Chelsea move for Nathan Ake is more advanced than Matthias de Ligt. Now, honestly, that news bothers me. This is from Nizar Kinsella, someone who's clued with the Chelsea stuff. And the fact that we're more advanced with Nathan Ake as opposed to Matthias de Ligt, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. How is Nathan Ake we're more advanced? And I'm going to lead to the domino effect from Nathan Ake, which is this. There's a good chance Southampton will make a move for Levi Colwill as Chelsea plan to address his future once new signings come into the door. And there's conversations that Levi Colwill will possibly leave if someone like Nathan Ake comes in, because Levi Colwill will look at that scenario and think, well, I could get those minutes from Nathan Ake. And if I'm being absolutely honest, what would you rather put your money on right now? You would want Chelsea Football Club to get De Ligt and Jules Koundé. Jules Koundé seems to be ripped up. I won't even be surprised if someone like Man City comes in for Jules Koundé. I seriously won't be surprised if they let go of Nathan Ake and they go for someone like Jules Koundé. I know Jules Koundé is not left-footed, but they don't give a damn over there. They look for ballers. So I thought maybe we'll go with De Ligt, Jules Koundé, and someone like Levi Colwill could get those additional minutes if it's a back three. Even if it's a back four, fine. You get yourself Jules Koundé and De Ligt anyway, because we need defenders. Soon we're going to be in the same situation next season with Silva possibly leaving after this season. We don't know. He could stay, but we don't know. Azpilicueta, there's conversations whether he will stay or not. So down the track, we need defenders anyway. We need to replace Christensen and Rudiger. So De Ligt, Koundé, and then Levi Colwill could have still got rotational minutes in the back, but in a back three, which is what it seems like it's going to happen. I know there's been some recent rumors that Thomas Tuchel might switch to a back four, but someone like Nathan Ake comes in, that's it. Levi Colwill, you know he's gone, because he will not see himself as an LCB, and in a back four, well, how many players are you going to have? Do you know what I mean? You've got Nathan Ake, you've got De Ligt, who I hope we get. Even if we don't, there's talks about Kimpembe. We have to get defenders. Bottom line, I would hate to see someone like Levi Colwill leave. Let me know how you feel about that. It just doesn't make sense to me. This news, ladies and gentlemen, is heating up. This is the second day in a row Cristiano Ronaldo has missed training. Cristiano Ronaldo not expected to attend Man United pre-season training for second consecutive day, citing family reasons. Currently unclear if the 37-year-old will return Man United, head on tour to Thailand and Australia on Friday. Look, I think he's going to leave Man United Football Club, and there's a serious chance he could come to Chelsea Football Club. And we've talked about it a lot. We've talked about how tactically he could work. We talked about the short-term deal. Watch this space. I honestly can't see how he sticks around at Man United and plays Europa League football. It simply does not make sense to me. It's Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy. He will get one last opportunity, possibly, to go for the Champions League. And who better team to duel with than Chelsea? There's no other team out there that are interested in him at the moment. They're all either have strikers or they're tied up with money. From our sense, we've got new owners. From the reports that I've been saying, money shouldn't be an issue. And if it's a short-term scenario, low risk if it's a short-term scenario. But this news has a domino effect as well. Sources close to Armando Broja and within Southampton insist suggestions the club have made an official bid for Chelsea striker are wide of the mark. So, look, Southampton, apparently the talks with Southampton so sources close to Armando Broja and within Southampton insist suggestions that the club have made an official bid for. So they're saying that they haven't made a bid, but there's been rumours about Armando Broja with West Ham, Newcastle, Everton. I think Chelsea Football Club will entertain this thought, and as I said, Todd Bowley will have conversations with Levi Colwill, Armando Broja, Azpilicueta, and many other players that are possibly could leave. Conor Gallagher as well. As much as I want him to stay, there are Premier League clubs out there that are wanting his service. But someone like Cristiano Ronaldo comes in, I honestly can't see how Armando Broja stays. I would love him to stay. Imagine him getting the experience and the learning from Cristiano Ronaldo. 5 subs next season, he could come off the bench, get those minutes. But it's up to him. Does he want regular minutes? Is he happy with coming off the bench and keep learning? Next season, he could possibly end up starting. Can he be patient? That's the main thing. And can we convince him to stay patient? I suppose show him a pathway. So it works both ways. But look, I'm not moving in to next season with just Havertz and Broja. I'm being absolutely honest. I'm okay if it's Ronaldo, Havertz, and Broja. Depends on what happens with Timo Werner as well. If we can't offload Timo Werner, then you're probably going to see Timo Werner, Havertz, and Broja, and not Ronaldo. And I'm not entirely convinced with that particular combination. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you want to do with Armando Broja. There's heavy demands for him, and I get the feeling Chelsea will cash in if they get a good amount of money. Tom Bowley and Thomas Tuchel are expected to keep the focus on deals for Raheem Sterling and Raphinha. Moves for Ronaldo and Neymar are unlikely to fit the existing plan. I mean, look, Ronaldo and Neymar could be a long shot. Although I think Ronaldo may not be a super long shot, Neymar could be a long shot. But we're back with Raphinha again. What is going on with the Raphinha situation? This thing is... Honestly, what are we doing? We've done everything possible. We've agreed, terms with Leeds. Raphinha seems to be very much interested with Barcelona. Deco seems to do a lot of work for Barcelona. I mean, what's going on? What are we waiting for? Are we missing something in this scenario? Barcelona was pushing today also in the morning for Raphinha with his father and Deco. Important hours, days ahead to see if Barca can find an agreement with Leeds. Clearly, Barca, even with all their economic levers kicking in, they've got a lot of things to juggle. Apparently, they still haven't been able to register Christensen and Kessie, even though they've been announced. Christensen and Kessie are for them in their, social media pages, but they've not been able to register them. So how are you still going to get Lewandowski? You're still after Koundé. You're apparently after Bernardo Silva. I don't know what's Raphinha doing as well. What is he doing? Like, why can't you just agree on the Chelsea stuff? I don't know. Some people are saying that maybe he's just waiting around to see what Barcelona can do, and ultimately, if they can't do anything, they'll take Chelsea. I just hate being that second dish on the side, just being left behind to rot, and then until when it suits you, you'll come and collect us. Like, I don't know. And this has a domino effect as well. If we don't get Raphinha, I don't know why we are going to let go of Ziyech, and that's the news next up. Fresh talks have taken place between Chelsea and AC Milan over Hakim Ziyech's potential loan move. If we don't get if we don't get Raphinha, I think it would be mad to let go of Hakim Ziyech. And if you let go of Hakim Ziyech, then you're pretty much saying there's no way Callum Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, or Werner could leave, because we're going to be short in numbers. Who are we linked with in the winger position? No one. So if Raphinha doesn't come, how are you going to let someone like Hakim Ziyech go? Unless you're so confident that you're going to start using Callum Hudson-Odoi on that right side, Pulisic maybe as well, and maybe they can look after it. Like, I would not let this happen if Raphinha doesn't happen. Until we see some movement with Raphinha, I don't think it would be wise to let go of Hakim Ziyech. That's just my personal feeling, but you guys let me know how you feel about that. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, this came out early UK time in regards to Jorginho, which makes me think, what are we doing in regards to midfield situation as well? We are still at the beginning. It will be a very cautious market. Chelsea are the priority for Jorginho. Apparently, Chelsea are the priority. I thought Jorginho's agent has always been talking about him leaving Chelsea and going back to Italy, and all of a sudden now Chelsea's the priority. The contract will expire in 2023, so this is his final season coming up. I think we will talk about the renewal from September. So this guy is willing to entertain the renewal. Now, whether this is a policy to, I don't know, drive some interest from elsewhere, that, we're locking up, Jorginho with Chelsea again, perhaps maybe 1 year, 2 years, whatever the case is. Other clubs, be aware, if you want this player, come in now. Or is it genuinely that maybe he doesn't have any interest, and or maybe Chelsea want him to say, I don't know. I thought Chelsea were looking to perhaps evolve from that scenario. Like, Jorginho has given us his, best times. He's done well at Chelsea Football Club. He's won a lot of stuff, came third in Ballon d'Or. He's a very key, he's an important player for Chelsea. But last season gave me an indication maybe we're looking to transition away from someone like Jorginho and look for someone who's got his quality, but at the same time more physical and robust nature. So, someone in the sense of, I suppose, Basuma, there's obviously Declan Rice. Declan Rice, I still have my doubts over his ball playing and distribution, I suppose, from the back with quickness, with quick movements. So, but then again, he could adapt, I suppose. So, look, if he ends up staying, what does it mean in terms of midfield? Like, are we not going to get midfielders? Looks like we're probably going to be, extending Kante's contract as well, even though there's concerns about his injury from that front. And Thomas Tuchel has not hidden away from that. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you would do with Jorginho. Honestly, he's 30 plus as well now. Well, he's 30 or moving to 31, something like that. How much more contract extension would you give him? 1 year, 2 years? Would you even accept a 1 year contract extension? I don't think someone like Jorginho would be. It doesn't really give him comfort in terms of long-term future, vision for him. So we'll see what happens there, ladies and gentlemen. That pretty much wraps it up. The biggest news is the Ligt situation. Let me know how you feel about it. I just don't want us to screw this up, man. Like, we've already been screwed around with the Raphinha situation. Apparently, we tried to hijack Richarlison. Raheem Sterling is the only one, and apparently Nathan Ake. And Nathan Ake, I'm not really convinced. If we lose Levi Colwill, that don't make sense to me. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time. See ya.